Hello YouTube, it is I, Sneaky Teak, resident broadcast personality, so pleased to be back today with more Peglin, the Pachinko Roguelike. Today, checking out the Cruciball demo. Let's dive straight in. Again, this is Peglin. We've been playing the regular mode of the game, and today we're going to check out Cruciball, which I will explain immediately. Note, this is my first time ever trying Cruciball. You are seeing my very first look at this mode. And as far as I've been told, it is really ridiculously hard, so hopefully it's a fun time. This is what the devs say about Cruciball. Cruciball is an increasing difficulty ladder for those who really want to put their Peglin skills to the test. In its full implementation, Cruciball level 1 will unlock after a successful run, and completing a Cruciball level will unlock the next one. Each Cruciball level modifies the game in a unique way to make the game more difficult, and includes all of the modifications of the previous levels. Okay, so this is just like a Slay the Spire style Ascension system. You start with the base game, and then you tack on layered difficulty modifiers. For the demo, it goes straight to the current implementation of Cruciball number 5. So it says level 1 adds start each run with +1 stone, so your deck is more dilute, and stones have -0, -1. They do less crit damage, okay? Cruciball number 2, mini-boss battles can appear in question mark scenarios, so random elites. Number 3, enemies and mini-bosses have increased health, okay. Number 4, misnavigation damage is increased to 5, which will surely kill me. And finally, 5, pegboards contain fewer crit and refresh. This one in particular scares me. Baseboards, at least to my observation so far, contain 2 refresh and 2 crit. This is a halving if it's a -1. A halving, halve with an L, of the amount of crit and refresh on a typical board, at least before you get relics. So I think that this is going to be excruciatingly difficult, but I want to check it out, right? This game is still in early access. We've been having an incredible time with it. I want to try all the different modes that are available to us, and frankly, we're kind of liberated now that we've lost our streak. So we finished our Peglin streak at 6 runs, 1 in a row. I think that we could do it again, and I think we could do even better, but I want license to experiment with different modes and different things. So to start, I want to get into Cruciball. I'll tell you more about my thoughts about Peglin, how I want to continue to experiment, and what kind of challenges I want to do later on as we get into the run, but for now, I'm eager to get it started. So let's get going. Would you like a boost? As this run begins, we're offered a special button. The board will contain 1 additional exclamation point. That's not bad, especially given that we already lost some crit. Salt Shaker attacks deal +10 damage to slimes. Wish I had that in the last run. Single tear drips down my face. You know, given how difficult the starting area would be, this is not horrible. I mean, this is a substantial improvement to our ability to take on slime specifically. And in Cruciball, this might be takeable, right? Take this, take a lot more fights in the beginning to try to find orbs and get them some upgrades. But there's also weaponized envy. Whenever you heal lost health, deal 3x that much damage to the targeted enemy. This is an incredible relic, but it gives us no immediate power. And I think for Cruciball, we need to take some. So it's probably between Special Button or Salt Shaker. I think let's take Special Button. I think that's gonna feel like +10 damage to slimes, except it's gonna feel like that for all fights. 1 more crit. Okay, we have Avogadro as our boss, the mole boss who hides behind the tree. We can get an immediate relic here. That's pretty sweet. And wow, green slimes come in with 75 health. Okay. 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 I'm kind of thinking we're going to go fight, chest, fight, question mark, chest. That seems pretty good. If we're strong enough here, we can go elite, but fight, chest, fight already looks like a pretty solid start, right? Chance for an orb, chance for an upgrade, potentially. Which means we need to make sure that we're clearing towards the right side of the board. And so I say let's do that right away. One thing that I'd really like to start experimenting with, and that I'm actually really curious for people's thoughts on, is optimal clearing strategies for different boards. This is where the Pachinko part of the game comes in more, and something that I think we can improve, or the Peggle part, right, is in our play, we can improve this, is given that this board is one of the starting boards, because there's a limited number of peg boards that we can see, what are some of the ideal places to hit? Should we be hitting close to the middle, or does it tend to work out better actually to start your bounce towards the edge, right? I don't know the answer to those questions, but I'm quite certain that we could experiment and approach an answer to those questions. And so that's certainly on the list of things I'd like to try. So far, I'm definitely feeling it. It seems like in the start, we're going to need to take advantage of bombs or else really struggle. I'm gonna go ahead and set up a crit here. I'm hoping to avoid hitting the bombs until this last slime comes in, and then we need to quickly clear them both. So here's one down. And two, wow, perfect. Now, going out to the right is potentially looking like it could be a little bit difficult for us here. Okay. Instantly offered Matryorbshka or another Dag Orb. I have a lot of trouble taking this. With more crits, I guess it's okay. Or an Inferno Orb. Lighter than other orbs, detonates bombs in one hit, deals 2 damage to self when fired, but it comes in as a 3/5. I love this as an early hit. 3/5 is just pretty good. It's a substantial upgrade to the things that we have available to us. Let's go ahead and take Fire Orb here. I feel good about that, or rather Inferno Orb. If for no other reason than just to have more damage in the deck and to have a pretty decent upgrade target. Okay, well, we didn't do quite as good of a job as I had hoped clearing to the right, but I'm pretty certain that if we aim between these pegs on the far right, the result will either be a slide right down the edge or a bounce that's good enough. I was right, but not in the way that I had hoped. We'll take the outcome. Suffer the Sling! That's so lucky. Just gonna go ahead and acknowledge that we offset quite a lot of the whole Cruciball thing in a single find. Suffer the Sling, stones get +1/+2. So we had previously had a modifier which gave our stones plus, or rather -0, -1. And so now at net, they're actually still +1/+1 from base, and we have an extra one of them, which now is not so bad. Our stones are 3/5s. That's the same as an Inferno Orb. So let's take fights. Hopefully fights will help us find upgrades. Or another orb. I mean, we're certainly in a position where we could take Orbalisk, a known way to find damage in the early game. Yeah, and we'll just slide here, right, and do as much damage as we can do. So I wanted to talk about, just a little bit, about Peglin and kind of how I'm thinking of the game right now, right? Because I had a very, very good time taking on the challenge of trying to streak the game, and I learned quite a lot. But one of the downsides to streaking a game like this so early is that you can end up deciding quite a lot of things about the game, is how the game is balanced, before you have a chance to really test it all, right? And I definitely found myself doing that. I decided that certain boss relics were takeable and certain weren't. I decided, you know, about the right way to navigate the map. And that was getting reinforced fairly consistently by our play, but it also means that I didn't get a chance to really experiment with the things that I quickly determined weren't that good. Case in point, little spoilers here, on our last run when we took the Suffering, I was pretty sure that Suffering wasn't that good, and then we died from it. But the truth is, we can't really conclude that yet. Our dataset is just not big enough. And so I want to have a few runs to where I'm not so much thinking about streaking as about, you know, learning and engaging with the game in new ways. And so, having said that, starting with Cruciball, I'm kind of trying to put our knowledge to the test, right? We think we learned quite a lot about the game while streaking. If we did, then we should be able to beat a harder mode, right? If, in fact, we did learn what the strongest things are, then we should be able to make the strongest plays and turn that into victory in Cruciball. I should probably focus on trying to get a victory in this freaking fight right now. I think I want to be open to going left. I actually think there's a decent chance we could take on this elite. Like, we might have enough damage. If we get a Bramble here or something, I'll feel really good. Might have been acceptable there to actually just discard the Infern Orb to avoid the self-damage. And I do wish we had taken less damage on the way out, but what are you going to do? So Cruciball is a bit of a test of what is this mode like. I mean, partly just I'm interested in it, right? And also a test of can we use what we learned while streaking to beat this harder mode? And then I also want to do some runs to where we just force relics that I don't think are that good. Take all the boss relics, everything I've never taken and everything I don't think is particularly good, and figure out how to make it work. And so I think it should be a good set of runs. I'm quite excited, actually, for the next several episodes, the next several runs of Peglin here on YouTube. And Twitch. I mean, we can do both. Why hold ourselves back? Speaking of holding ourselves back, I saw Dr. Orb and I almost clicked on it immediately. I just think that Dr. Orb is very good, but it demands an upgrade. And are we going to be able to give it one? Nothing here screams, rather, that we'll be able to take on this elite fight. I do think Ice Circle helps substantially if we wanted to be able to take this on. 2/3 of these fights are AoE. Either the triple plant or the slimes fight, right? But in that position, I'm just not that confident that we can do enough damage to Minotaur to feel good. I guess the light kind of bouncy Fire Orb might do okay. And given Avogadro, I like Ice Circle as a pickup, but in the long run, I just think that Dr. Orb is better. In terms of just predicting an effective outcome. I wonder if it would ever be correct here. Yeah, skipping up 2 elites. I wonder if it would be correct here to take Dr. Orb, go right, take this chest, go right again. Hopefully somewhere in these next 4 nodes or so, we get access to an upgrade, and then we upgrade Dr. Orb, and then we are a lot stronger. But I am worried if we do that, we don't have any AoE. And Ice Circle gives us some. But we have a fair bit of damage from our starting relics. Okay, let's go Dr. Orb here. I also just really, really like healing in terms of how it opens up certain relics later on. Okay, so we're talking about boss relics. The plus boss relics, really, really solid with Dr. Orb. I also, if we find the right things, can really like Matryoshka relic. Matryoshka relic? Matryoshka? So this is funny, somebody corrected me actually. It's Matryoshka, but when you say it, it's like Matryoshka. And so if you look this up, American pronunciation approaches Matryoshka, but not Matryoshka. Matryoshka. Anyway, I don't know. I don't speak Russian, but we try to learn as much as we can at every opportunity without fail. Yeah, I'm just not confident in an elite here. We're simply not fast enough. We might still get one though. We're in Cruciball mode. This could be a mini boss, this question mark. You find another Peglin intensely surveying the area. Hello, I'm Haglin. Have we met before? Upgrade. Yes, let's get that Dr. Orb upgrade right away. Upgrading Dr. Orb makes it to where it doesn't remove from your deck, and then we can actually use it. Before it's upgraded, it says removes from your orbs from your inventory after you use it. And so it's a funny one. It's a really, really powerful orb, but when you take it, you need to plan to get it upgraded right away because otherwise it's kind of lost value. You could take it and just heal in one fight. I mean, self-removal is not the biggest downside in the planet, right? But it's not ideal. Okay, let's look at another relic. It's weird that the shop there has bombs in it. I wonder if there's another Easter egg. Like, what if you successfully bomb out Haglin's shop, you get something? I know that there's more secrets in this game. I see you, devs. Fresh bandana! Board will contain 1 additional refresh. Okay, so we're back to the base level of refreshes and crits, thanks to our starting relics. So far, instead of being ahead, we're just caught back up to the base level of difficulty with the game, but that's not so bad. In that case, I wonder if actually we can take this elite now. I mean, obviously, I'd love to have even more value, but I think we can take this. We have quite a lot of damage output. We've got a heal. I think we can take this. Okay. So we'll have to kill all of these slimes with bombs. which will be the fire orb. So maybe we actually skip Inferno Orb here, because I don't want it to get in there and just start detonating the bombs. I guess that's not the end of the world if it happens, right? But let's do skip it. We get 1 discard per turn anyway, right? So might as well use it. I'm a little worried about deep-sing the mini-boss here, but hopefully we can successfully kill it. We'll see. Okay, we really, really need to be activating bombs now. So I'm going to try to land a bounce to where it kind of goes almost straight up and then stays in this group and hopefully starts to hit bombs. Two bombs started. One bomb down. And another, and hopefully another. If we bounce this right, it might go over to the left and hit the other one. Well, that was close. We did actually hit it off the bounce. That was not bad. That was not bad. Like I said, nervous about this, right? We're gonna take a ludicrous amount of damage. I'm gonna try to get this bounce to go up to the left side. Well, that was the idea. To get over to the crit and the refresh and all these goodies. Okay, we still have 350 damage to do to this big dog. Certainly wish I had a Bramball. Like, that would just be a really incredible pickup for us. Glad, though, I mean, between Inferno Orb and Stone Sling, just all of our orbs do pretty decent damage. We're actually doing okay on damage. Just got to make sure we're consistently getting those refreshes up and cycling through quickly. Not bad. Not bad at all. Get a refresh, heal as much as we can here before we start getting thwomped. Yeah, getting an extra refresh back made all the difference in terms of our consistency, didn't it? It feels really good. Okay, we'll win this fight. The question is, how many more hits am I going to take here on the way out, right? We're about to get a reshuffle, which is going to hurt. Oh no. Straight into the goalie. Okay, probably we're one more hit and then done. Nice. Survived. We can certainly take an upgrade. And I think we should be doing. This might mean we don't get to take another boss. Or elite, rather. But as an example, we could just upgrade Docked Orb. And then that's a way to heal back up after this. And that might actually set us up to take the elite. Let's do that. Persist 2 Docked Orb. Recombobulator. Combobulator? Apologies. Previously thrown bombs can now be refreshed. Or Lucky Penny board contains 2 additional crits. Okay, we gotta take Recombobulator. This can be very dangerous in Area 3. We open ourselves up to risk in the mines, where we could take ludicrous damage to the Mega Bombs, because they get refreshed. But I think we need it right now. I think that without this, I'm not confident in our ability to take down the boss or further elites or even just regular hallway fights without taking a ton of damage. And with this, I feel pretty confident. It also opens up even more value if we take Baborb as an example. Yeah, now seems like a really good time for Recombobulator. I kind of am hoping that this is a fight. This would be a perfect time for this to be a fight. Oh no. Oh, dang it. What was our other option? More crits? Oh, I'm not sure that we get to take Ouroboros on this run. A tragedy. Maybe we still can. I mean, it's a ton of damage versus a single enemy. but we lose out on Doctor Orb level 3. That's a heavy cost. Ooh, this is so tough. And we don't have a chance to upgrade Ouroboros before the Elite. We're losing all the value of Stone Sling. But there's the further consideration that removing one orb is actually more health damage too. Gosh, Ouroboros is so strong. I mean, it just has so much potential, right? No, I think this is remove an orb, and I think it's Docked Orb, or Dag Orb, rather. Hurts badly, but we need to take advantage of the start that we have. Would like this to go out to the right, but I don't usually get to decide. Nice! I'm not usually in charge. Tactical Treat. Refresh moves after every shot. That's fine. We'll take it. I honestly feel that this is mixed. Sometimes you don't want Refresh to move because you specifically don't want to hit it, but sometimes Refresh moving can keep you from just getting killed by a board that's otherwise unsolvable, and so I feel okay about that. Okay, we're gonna go to this Elite. This is a little risky, but we have a refreshing Docked Orb. We should be able to get to it before we start getting hit by Minotaur if we have that fight. Okay, so we just have to fight Slimes again, which is interesting. This is kind of a unique thing about this game compared to some of the other rogues that I like to play, is that you can fight the same Elite twice in a row. There's nothing that says you can't just fight the slime fight over and over and over again, at least in the current implementation. And that is just okay. Here's where we wish we had Eye Circle, right? I might be planning to kind of discard some orbs until... Dun 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 dun. Okay, now's a good time actually to just go to Fire Orb. Try to make sure that we get enough damage to kill off this front slime right away. Nice. We don't want to hit this refresh, so good thing it moved. There's another explosion. And enough damage to get the kill, and then we need one more, which we can work on doing with the Docked Orb. Oh gosh, but we really actually want to do this. We want to get a refresh here, which is going to make it harder to get the bombs, but I think is ultimately correct. Yeah, that's right. The bombs themselves refresh now too. Okay. Okay, this is not the ideal placement for the heal, but it gives us a chance to actually land some bombs, and that's what we need to do here to conclude this fight, right? Given that we have the Recombobulator, we definitely should have been more actively aggressing to the bombs. That was a mistake that I made. Honestly, I forgot about the bomb refresh here. I was waiting for the spawns, but we have bomb refresh, and so I did make a mistake, I think, in the navigation of this fight, but we can recover. Fixable. We want to be setting off bombs constantly and then also refreshing them constantly. That's the game plan. Slightly to the left so it has a chance to hit a refresh is my thinking. Oh man, that's rough. Okay, we're gonna take a lot of damage here. I'm just hopeful that we can live. I'm not sure. We definitely need to pop some bombs, that's clear. But they're only 35, so we need to be careful over-committing to that line, right? Still, it's a consistent 35. A bomb and a refresh. Okay, we have to kill in 1 hit. How on earth are we going to do that? In practice, I think the answer is we won't. GG. Okay. First attempt Cruciball. Happy with the attempt. I feel really good about our early choices of relic. Certainly glad that we took the Suffer the Sling. Got more value out of the stones that we had. I was surprised by how much I didn't like the second upgrade on Doctorb. I actually think that might have been a mistake. Although if we had had more fights to top off before this one, we might have been okay. We definitely made a mistake not taking full advantage of Recombomulator in this fight, and it could have made a difference towards the 120, or at least taking less damage from the adds, but we were struggling to do enough damage to this enemy. I wish I had seen the Ouroboros event just a little sooner, because we would have taken it and forced it, and then we'd be in a really strong position. Freaking tough. This makes a big difference. Honestly, this makes a big difference. A lovely introduction to Cruciball. I think I'm going to try a few more of these. I'd really like to win Cruciball 5 at least one time, so I think that's going to be the challenge for the next few episodes, however long it takes here on YouTube. We're going to hit this Cruciball until we figure out the types of combinations that are consistent and strong enough to get you out of the horribly difficult Act 1 and all the way to and through Act 3. That's the plan, but we'll have to continue that plan in a future video. That's it from me, folks. From my home to yours, from me, from Kevin, and from Bevan. Nothing but love. Have a wonderful week and a fantastic week to come, and also a great week and a fantastic week to come, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!